in Igbo, there is a popular saying. My mother used to say it a lot. My mother raised me on, with a lot of adages. She said, "No onye yi shoe, mauzo shoe, afu afu." That means he who wears the shoes knows where he pinches. There's also an English saying that uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. And there's also another saying that in Igbo language that onye yi onya, amadi na onya keke. Onya is like gold. And he who wears gold doesn't know that it is sparkling. It's people that see you that knows that it is sparkling and then they want it. There is a hot case right now that is happening right now in Nigeria. The Ooni of Ife, of Ile-Ife, him and his wife, the queen, she said nobody should call her a queen anymore, but she's popularly known as an evangelist Naomi, and she married a traditionalist, Ooni of Ife. And after their marriage was also blessed with a handsome baby boy. So when people talk about this divorce, I hope that they would, show some respect, not only to the marriage, but to the fact that this marriage also has a child. So this beautiful lady, this queen, she, posted a blog on her Instagram, and she, talked about her marriage and that the fact that she couldn't bear it anymore, that she did everything she could to save the marriage, but it was not working, and she decided to call it quits and to leave the marriage. That she also said that at a point she had, stories of side attractions, whether it is side chick or whatever, with she and her husband. That wasn't an issue. The issue of him being a traditionalist, if you know what an Ooni of Ife is, I say it humbly, I come from a royal family, and as a princess, as a daughter of the king, we know what it is to be a traditionalist, to be a king, to be a queen, to be a princess. My father, my uncles, I know the rituals they do to appease whether the gods, to appease our ancestors, to appease, whatever it is that you serve. But for the Ooni of Ife, they have their own tradition. But the queen said this was not an issue. That's not why she's divorcing him, because she knew he was a traditionalist. There are things that happened, that there's an image that the king portrays outside that is different from the image of what he is inside. Which is to say that if you are not just married, as a child growing up in a family, you know that many times people have two images. The one people outside know you with, and the one is the people in the house know you with. If you want to know how a man of God is, if you want to know how a husband is, how a wife is, truly go home and ask his family members, ask his brothers, ask his sisters, ask his children. They will tell you who their parent is, not the person you see outside. Because people we are good to put on a facade, to show people what we want them to like. But we know the demons we are battling with. Nobody is perfect. This king is not perfect. The queen is not perfect. Nobody is perfect. Neither am I, nor are you. Only God is perfect. No matter how much we strive, our imperfections is like a filthy rag in the eyes of God. But through him, through Christ, we are made perfect. So she also said that there are issues that have made her to call it quits. That is not for people to just come and judge. And she's setting the record straight, because there has been a lot of rumor in the gossip blogs. But she's setting the record straight that there was no other woman married to the king when she was married to the king. That she decided to leave the king, and pursue her purpose, and that she is glad that she has been blessed with a child. Now, the essence of this story, there is a lot of lessons for us to learn from this story, because as I'm a life coach, as I'm just an ordinary woman first. I am a wife, I am a mother of 3, I am a daughter, and I have, by the grace of God, been given some certain kind of wisdom that when things like this happen, God wants me to share, because it is an eye-opener for us. When you are married, we should understand one thing. For those that are saying to the woman, because I read some people that were commenting and saying, oh, go back to your husband, go and bear it because of your child, for the sake of your child. One thing that we don't understand in our part of, Africa, in our part of the world, Nigeria, is that every marriage has a mantle. Every marriage has a purpose and a destiny. The onus lies on you to know why God called you into your marriage. This queen understands that one of the reasons God called her was for her to bear the prince, and she has bore the prince. My network is bad, but she has bore the prince. But so she knows that it is time for her to leave. Why did God call you into your marriage? You have to understand that if it's for you to stay there and have long suffering because of your children, then you can stay. But it is not for anybody to tell somebody in their marriage when their breaking point is reached. You should know your breaking point and reach your breaking point before your breaking point reaches you. Because when your breaking point reaches you, it will break you mentally, emotionally, psychologically, financially, physically. It will break every unit. Your soul, your mind, your body will be broken. And sometimes your life, you will be taken out of that marriage in corpse. A lot of marriages have domestic violence. A lot of marriages have infidelity. A lot of marriages have children out of wedlock. A lot of marriages have a lot of things. But it is not for you to tell somebody when it's their breaking point. This queen knows what her breaking point is, and she reached it, and she decided to leave. So you that is in a marriage right now, as a husband, understand that your wife has a breaking point. Don't think that you can do anything to your wife because you are the head of the household. Because you think you are the head of the household, and then you treat your wife anyhow. Oh, where will she live? Where does she doesn't have anywhere to go. So you think you are her God, and so you treat her anyhow, thinking she cannot leave. And you that is a wife, don't think that your husband, because wives also have their own things they do to their husband. Don't think that you cannot push your husband so much to the wall that one day he will react, and when he reacts, all hell will be let loose. Everybody has their breaking point in marriage. Before you go into a marriage, know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. Work on those things so that you will not continue to make your spouse to suffer. The Ooni of Ife, they say he has married previous wives, and time again they have left. I don't want to dabble into that. So I've also said, oh, it is the culture to be polygamist. If it is polygamist, if it is to be a polygamist and she doesn't want it, she has her reasons. Understand your reason for getting married. I cannot stress this enough. Marriage is beyond having photo ops, beautiful picture, for posting this and having bridal train or having a shebi, and you don't even know why you're getting married. The person you are getting married to, you see his or her weaknesses, and you don't talk to them to work on it. You don't go for counseling to work on it. You think that once you get married, Mr. and Mrs. will automatically solve the problem. It doesn't work like that though. As a matter of fact, research has shown that if somebody has one fault when you marry them, that fault when you get married, it will be multiplied by 50. That is human nature. Unless that person decides to work on it, you cannot save anybody. So don't think that you marry this girl. When you marry her, you will save her. When you marry this man, you will save him. You are not God though. You are not God. So don't think that you can play God. You have your own inefficiencies that you have not even solved. Talk less of carrying somebody else's problem on your head. There are things in the Bible that we can use as an example. Esther, when Esther married King Ahasuerus, if it's in the modern time, they'll say, how can you go marry the Persian king? How can you do this? How can you do that? But Esther, when her uncle Mordecai told her to enroll for the beauty pageant, and she won, and Vashti did what she did and was so prideful that the king chased her away. And then Esther, after months and months and months of preparation, married the king. It came a point in time when Esther heard that the Jews were to be killed by Haman. Haman is the chief minister of King Ahasuerus in the Persian kingdom. And Esther understood this was the reason why God joined her in marriage with the king. And Esther told the Jews, they fasted for 3 days and 3 nights, and she fasted, and their fasting renewed her. And she said, I will go unto the king. If I perish, I perish. Why? Because she understood that this is the mandate why she married this king. Why are you marrying your husband? As a husband, why are you marrying your wife? Because God, if God did not only give Abraham a mandate, God gave Esther, God gave Ruth, God gave David, God gave God has given each and every one of us in our families a mandate, a mantle for us to carry, to run the relay race and hand it down. Until you understand what it is, you will continue to fail in your marriage. You will continue to treat your spouse like they are beneath you, like you are God or you are the goddess in your home. You will continue to disappoint your children, and then will continue to cry, oh, the devil is attacking marriages. The devil is bringing divorce. What is bringing divorce? We have to tell ourselves the truth, because nothing else will set us free but the truth. Tell yourself the truth. You know what you're doing in your marriage that is making your wife to cry. You know what you're doing in your marriage that your husband is complaining about. Fix those things right now and get help. And not when your spouse decides to walk away, then the family members will scoff at them. Oh, you are divorcing your husband. Oh, you are divorcing your wife. Oh, people have their breaking points. Jesus Christ reached his own breaking point. At a point, he said, God, let this cup pass over me. He reached his breaking point, but nevertheless, because he understood his mandate on this earth, he said, not your will be done, but my will. I say it, and I say it every time. Some people come to my page and they abuse me. They say a lot of things to me. And this whole year, I have not made videos like I used to. But I have decided I will continue to say the truth, because I know who I am and I know what God has sent me to do. God has sent me to liberate families, to build up relationships between husbands and wives, between children, because many children are suffering. Many children's destiny are destroyed because their parents don't know how to raise them. I have decided that this year, every hot topic, I will talk about it, and I will tell you what God wants me to say. I don't care who it offends. I don't care anymore. And if you like this video, share this video, show it to your husband and show it to your wife. Every marriage has a mandate. Know what your mandate is. This queen understands her mandate, and what she has done will make every woman to know that all that glitters is not gold. That the fact that your husband bought you 1 million and one thing, the fact that your wife is this and your wife is that, does not mean that you are not suffering in your home. You should seek help if you need help. Open your mouth and say something. Abraham and Sarah's marriage is another marriage that we can also talk about. Sarah agreed to be a side chick for Abraham. When God sent him on the destination, told him to leave his family, Abraham told Sarah, any man that comes to me, agree that you're my sister. And Sarah agreed to be a side chick, to sleep with any man to save her husband, because she understood the mandate in her home. When God told her she will have a child and the child was not forthcoming, in her own way of trying to help God, she told Haggai to sleep with her husband, her maid, and Haggai and the boy a child. And when she found out that the trouble was too much, the same woman that told her husband, oh, I will support you, I will be with you, she told the man, chase down your child away, chase Haggai away. And Abraham understood the mandate that God sent him. He understood. After saying no, he went to seek the face of God, and God told him, send her away. Your wife is your queen, not that woman you impregnated. Your wife is your queen. And Abraham sent Haggai and his own child away. How many men can do it? How many women can give up themselves for their husband? I don't even know if I can do it. Understand your mandate in your marriage. Treat your spouse like the queen and the kings they are. Let your children see a good example of marriage. Precious people, divorce is just the beginning though. Divorce is going to multiply you if we don't do something about it. This is not prayer. This is action. Actions have consequences. It is time for us, come 2022, to open our eyes, to marry well. If you know you're not ready for marriage, Kukuma, stay single. Work on yourself until you are ready, because marriage is not looking beautiful, posting beautiful pictures, and we meanwhile in you are dying, you are depressed. As a man, you are having high blood pressure. As a woman, you are suffering. Understand your mandates. If it is not your mandate, don't go into that marriage. Speak to God. Precious people, I will see you in the next video. I love you all. Bye for now.